Over the past week, the marketing for Dragons Rising's second season has been really ramping up, as we've received a bunch of new clips of the season. These give us quite a bit of insight as to where the storyline is heading, so I thought I'd make a video discussing my thoughts on them and giving them a quick analysis. Some of these clips have been out for a couple days already, so there's a good chance you've probably seen a good chunk of them, but I thought better late than never. Let's give these clips a look. The first clip we have here, the Blood Moon, gives us another look at what the villains of this season are doing, which has me really excited. You know why? Because everything we've seen of these villains so far has been great. Jordana in particular has been super captivating in these clips so far. She's absolutely a scheming, power-hungry, conniving villain, but you get the sense that all of the stuff she's doing with Raz in these clips deep down has her very scared. Whether it's because this ominous, scary Tiger Man has taken her out to this mysterious dojo, and she's afraid of the unknown, or if deep down there is some part of her who knows that all of this is wrong. Possible redemption, maybe? Whatever the case, it's so clear in these clips that she is behaving differently to how she did in Imperium, where in Imperium, she was very loud and brash. With Raz, she's comparatively quiet and reserved because she has been completely taken out of her comfort zone. In both settings, she was still driven by the same urge to prove herself. It's just now she's shoved herself into a much scarier and more high-stakes situation, and kind of doesn't know how to react to it. I think it's a really great premise for a villain, and I'm pretty excited to see what she's going to get up to in the full season. Because I think Jordana's character in Season 2 has a lot of potential. Lord Raz also continues to be amazing in these clips. Something I really like about this character is the Ninjago producer's insistence on making sure we know this guy is a walking tiger. A lot of fictional humanoid animal characters are just regular people but with an animal head. But with Raz, you can really see the effort the Ninjago producers have put in to convince us that this is an evil talking tiger. Beyond the growling that the voice actor inserts in between Lord Raz's lines.
Boiling beach and here, the forest of spirits.
In this clip, it's also confirmed that Lord Raz has natural night vision.
Not all of us have your natural night vision.
Something that real-life tigers also have. They did not need to put this detail in, but it is so cool that it is here. It shows a great level of attention to detail that's been put towards really trying to sell this character to the audience. It's great stuff. This clip also gives us some more insight to Lord Raz's plans, being that he wants to unite some of the most powerful beings across all of the merged realms in order to fulfill his great scheme. And when Raz says this, he is almost certainly referring to the Forbidden Five, a set of characters mentioned in the description of the Shatterspin comic releasing May 22nd. Further proof that this season's plot involves the Forbidden Five is that Sora's upcoming suit in the Summer Wave of sets has a 5 on it. I see no other reason that this would have a 5 on it unless it was talking about the Forbidden Five in some way. Also, oh my god, this might be the best shot in Ninjago's entire history. This literally looks like moving concept art. It is absolutely drop-dead gorgeous. This clip, entitled The Dragon Master, starts us out with Lloyd floating in midair, with his eyes glowing a bright green, before falling out of the air and hitting the ground. I think this clip all but confirms my theory from the trailer analysis video, which I'll quickly recap now. In the trailer and the synopsis for this season's plot, Lloyd is being haunted by visions about the Gong of Shattering, the Wolf Clan, and a bunch of new stuff in this clip that we'll get to. In that trailer video, I speculated that these visions, much like the vision Lloyd had in Season 1 after becoming the conduit for the Source Dragon's power, are caused by the fact that he's now a conduit. And straight off the bat, whilst I could be wrong, this shot really confirms it for me. If you look at the way his eyes glowed in this scene versus the way his eyes glow whenever he taps into the power of Source Dragons, it's so abundantly clear that these are linked. And on top of all of that, a defining aspect of the scenes where Lloyd taps into Source Dragon power is that he starts floating in midair. What is he doing at the start of this clip before he falls to the ground? Floating. And what really seals the deal for me is that after Lloyd comes out of this vision and back to reality, the first thing he mentions is...
I saw a vision of... I think they were the Source Dragons.
In Season 1, before Lloyd becomes a conduit, he's warned that making this choice could permanently change his life. And I think the permanent change to his life the Source Dragon was talking about was these new visions. Lloyd already had quite a big degree of separation from his teammates by being a human-only dragon hybrid, but now being a conduit for ancient mystical power he couldn't possibly understand has only made that degree of separation larger, and I'm really interested in how it's going to be affecting the plotline going forward. I'm so excited to delve into the implications of Lloyd being a conduit. Anyways, after Lloyd falls to the ground, Arin and Sora come to check on him, where Lloyd mentions everything he saw in his vision, including Source Dragons, a metal gate, a place the ninja can learn, and a teacher to seek out. Now, what I find interesting about the mention of the Metal Gate is that when you look at the background art of the Egalt the Master Dragon set, well, as far as Metal Gates go, that looks like a pretty good candidate for what Lloyd's talking about. I think this gate pictured in the background of the Egalt set is the same gate Lloyd's talking about in this scene.
There was a metal gate, a place we can learn. a teacher to seek out.
From the reference to the Metal Gate in the Ye-Gout set, to Lloyd mentioning they need to seek out a teacher to learn ancient wisdom, to the clip literally being called the Dragon Master, it's pretty safe to say that the contents of Lloyd's vision in this clip all allude to Ye-Gout the Master Dragon, who is so prominent in this season's sets that he literally shares the mascot spot along with Kai on the top of the box. After this, Sora does a pretty reasonable thing for someone who's just seen her master wake up and say he had a vision of dragons and teachers in the future, and ask if any of this is even remotely trustworthy or real at all. To which Lloyd says that he believes what he saw, and then proclaims that he thinks there's an old master out there somewhere that can teach the ninja how to fight Shatterspin. Now, this old master is pretty obviously Ye-Gout, as discussed earlier, but what I'm more interested in is what exactly is Shatterspin? Pretty interestingly, this plot element shares a name with the upcoming Ninjago Shatterspin comic releasing May 22nd, where Garmadon supposedly discovers a secret power that could turn the tide of the Serpentine War. When I first heard Lloyd say fight Shatterspin in this short, I figured, okay, that wolf clan must be called Shatterspin. But taking this comic description into account, I think Shatterspin is a fighting technique. More specifically, I think it's this technique we can see Cinder doing in the Dragons Rising Season 2 poster. This looks like some kind of evil spinjitzu, and I think that's kind of what it's going for. Not in the way that Forbidden Spinjitzu is an evil corrupted spinjitzu, but in the way that Shatterspin is the direct opposition to the spinjitzu fighting technique. I think this is going to be a really powerful fighting technique on its own, but it's going to specialize in absolutely, well, shattering spinjitzu, which will be why the ninjas so desperately need a way to fight back against it. If I were to run a guess as to where this short is taking place in the season, I would say it takes place around episode 3 of season 2. This is because based on the fact that Arin's excited to have a counter to Shatterspin, it shows that they've clearly encountered it before. And I think their first encounter with Shatterspin is most likely to be in either episode 1 or 2 of season 2. I could be wrong there though, this is just speculation on my end. After this, Sora asks Lloyd if he's absolutely sure he believes what he saw was true, to which Lloyd says right now he's as sure as he can be. And with that, the clip ends. This is a pretty great clip, dude. I don't think it's as interesting as the Razat Shadow Dojo clip we got the other week, but I still think it's pretty great and gives us a lot of food for thought when it comes to speculating on this new season. Sam Vincent, Lloyd's voice actor, does such an amazing job at selling how confused and scared Lloyd is in this clip. And if this is the level of quality we can expect from this season in terms of a Lloyd story throughout the entire thing, then I think we've got an absolute banger Lloyd story coming up. The final clip we have here is entitled Ninja Mission, and this one is just absolutely wonderful. The Dragon Master clip we discussed just now does a really good job showing the despair Lloyd feels during and after these visions. But this Ninja Mission clip does a really good job showing us the doubt it's placed into his mind. But it doesn't just delve into his doubts about the visions. It also delves into his doubts about his place as a master of the ninja team. This clip does a really good job at showing us the toll worrying about his students takes on Lloyd. And I think that's really great. It does a great job reaffirming that he really cares about the people he's training. Trying to fill Wu's role of being master of the ninja team and having his own students to worry about has really added a level of depth to Lloyd's character that just wasn't there before. And especially given the 11-minute era after season 11 really just had no clue what it wanted to do with Lloyd's character, this master storyline has been such a miracle. Dragons Rising Season 2 is seemingly trying to raise the stakes of the storyline by trying to up the intensity and introducing a slightly darker tone than the previous season. And I think highlighting Lloyd's worry about his students heading into this more intense story arc is a great way to establish that tonal shift. Something else that also jumped out to me as interesting about this clip is that Wildfire seemingly is not on the bounty here. Now, she might be with the ninja here, but just off screen, maybe in some room in the interior of the bounty or something, I'm not entirely sure. But I think if Wildfire was tagging along on this adventure, she would be visible in this scene. Which makes me wonder, where is she? Is she perhaps injured and out of the game for a bit? Assuming that theory is true, maybe Wildfire getting injured is what has Lloyd so worried about the rest of his students. If where the ninja are headed is anywhere near Raz's Shadow Temple, maybe Wildfire doesn't want to go to that part of the wilderness? Or maybe she's back guarding the monastery with Zane, who also is seemingly not here. It's a pretty interesting mystery. I'm excited to see where she is in this scene. Also, dude, the way the gold lighting of Arin's spinjitzu contrasts with the grey mistiness of the rest of the scene is absolutely gorgeous. Dragons Rising is absolutely remaining the undisputed king of Ninjago's visuals. The last thing I want to mention about this clip is that Nia and Lloyd's dynamic in it is so great. Nia has kind of always served as a surrogate big sister to Lloyd, and this clip does a wonderful job at highlighting that relationship. These two have been through absolute thick and thin with each other since Lloyd was a little kid. And this clip does a wonderful job at highlighting the mutual trust that is built between them because of all those years of experience. This is an absolutely wonderful scene. Overall, whilst I can't make a judgment on how good Dragons Rising Season 2 is going to be yet because it isn't out, all of the marketing we've seen for it so far, and in particular these 3 clips, have been absolutely spectacular, and are making Dragons Rising's second season look insanely promising. What about you guys though? Are you excited for the season based off of these clips? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. As always, a massive thank you to my channel members for supporting the channel, whose names are listed on screen now, and a huge thank you to everyone for watching this video all the way through. And hopefully, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye for now.